main difference with the truck versus the engine is the truck is a lot longer. It's got the driver up in front. It also has our tiller in the back. The reason we have two people driving is because it negotiates and navigates our tight streets throughout our jurisdiction. And believe it or not, we can get this truck into a lot of spaces that we can get our engine into. That's one main advantage. One of the other big differences is we don't carry any water on the truck. The truck, all it carries is tools and ladders. The main function of the truck company is to support the engine operations at a fire. And the way that they do that is they provide forcible entry. They also provide ventilation and ladder work to assist with getting our firefighters inside to find the seat of the fire, to conduct search and rescue, and as well as removing smoke to make the fire environment more tenable for anybody that's inside, as well as our firefighters that are trying to find the seat of the fire to extinguish it. We staff our truck with 4 people. We have a driver, we have the captain, a firefighter that sits in the back, and like we mentioned earlier, our tiller. Obviously up front is our driver, very similar. It will look just like the engine looks. We come back to our back compartment here, and we have seating back here for our firefighters to sit. This is the compartment here that our driver keeps their equipment in. Just like the engine, we carry SCBAs, flashlights. We also have the thermal imaging camera. The main job of the driver of the truck is to get the crew there safely, position the truck, and get the ladder up into service. The truck is also a big toolbox for us. It has axes, hooks. As we see over here, we have saws. Again, using the saws for ventilation or forcible entry. The truck's also responsible for salvage and overhaul. We have brooms, squeegees, as well as a water vac to clean up water after a fire or during another emergency such as a water leak or sprinkler head activation. In this compartment here we carry ropes for rope rescues. Back here are our fans, our blowers, as well as some portable lighting and generators that we can use on emergency scene. And then we talked about the tiller. This is where the tiller sits. The tiller up here controls these wheels. Right here, their seat and steering wheel. And again, they help assist the driver negotiating tight corners and curves. In this back compartment here is the tiller's compartment. They have their turnouts, as well as their SCBA, their mask, and a flashlight. So all their safety equipment is stowed right here, so that when they get to an emergency scene, it's all readily accessible for them. So in this back compartment, we carry our ground ladders. We have extension ladders and straight ladders to get us up to the roof or to windows of a building that's on fire. Okay, now we did the driver's side of the truck. We're going to move now to the officer side of the truck, or passenger side of the truck. So on this side is where the captain sits. We also have the radios, computer up here that gives them other additional information. Here's where the captain of the truck carries their equipment, has their SCBA, flashlight, thermal imaging camera, and hand tools. Here is the rider's seat. So this is where our firefighter's riding and has their equipment set up, ready to be donned in an emergency. A compartment again with more hand tools. In this compartment back here is our vehicle extrication and stabilization compartment. So in addition to responding to fires and service-related calls, the truck company also responds to vehicle accidents, and their job is to stabilize the vehicle and also extricate anybody that may be trapped inside the vehicle. And one of the ways that we can do that is using what a lot of times people refer to as the jaws of life. These are our spreaders. And right here are our cutters. Moving farther back here, again, more stabilization equipment and forcible entry tools. We also have airbags that can lift heavy objects off of the trapped patient, or victim, whether that's through a vehicle accident or a building collapse. Farther back here, we have more SCBAs for our firefighters. We also have a few more hand tools, and we have some salvage, more salvage equipment, salvage covers that we can tarp over people's belongings inside of a building to try to limit any damage from water or smoke while there's a fire going on inside that building. Farther back here, we have more SCBA bottles. So we use a 45-minute bottle. So we typically go through quite a few cylinders. So these are just extra cylinders that we can have our firefighters come to the truck and switch out so they have fresh air to breathe during an emergency. So just like at home, you've got to put your toys away and clean your room. We've got to do the same thing here at the firehouse. So we have to make sure all of our equipment is put back so that when we need it, we know exactly where it is, and we make sure that it's in good working order.